Everybody, my name is Kaylee. I work for youth advocacy, and we have recently done a workshop with some parents on how to reduce test anxiety and how to help navigate your child through that as they're experiencing standardized testing at the end of the year. And so we wanted to offer that to everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the presentation again and offer it as a recording for y'all. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started. Alrighty, here we have how to help your child prepare for standardized tests. Tips for parents of testing students. Standardized tests currently play a major role in the schools. Your child may take one or more standardized tests during the school year, and teachers may spend class time on test preparation throughout the year. As a parent, there are so many ways that you can help support your child before and after taking standardized tests, as well as during and just day to day. There are a ton of ways to support your children's learning habits that will help them be more prepared at test taking time. This quick presentation will help you find ways to relieve stress for your child and maybe even yourself during this time. I do want to begin with just stating that 40 to 60% of students have said that they have test anxiety. And I even have been one of those students who have test anxiety. So this is something that even now with hindsight is so beneficial. I wish I would have had this presentation then. And so I hope that it helps some of y'all now. Where are some ways that you can help? In this specific presentation, we're going to break it down into 4 different areas: before the test, on test day, after the test, and on a daily basis. So before the test, you can help out by preparing and helping make a plan. On test day, you can stay calm and supportive. After the test, you can review and decompress with your child. And on a daily basis, we're going to give you tips on how to create strategies and give help when and where needed. All right, so before the test, be prepared. Many teachers will send information home like, what is the test? How will results affect the child? And how can you help them prepare? A lot of things that you should be asking is, will this affect just your child? Will it affect just the school? Tons of different tests means tons of different things. And so it's good to have a well-rounded knowing of what exactly are we testing on and what is this measuring? How is it going to affect my child? Help your child in difficult areas. If your child has struggled with a particular area or subject in the past, you may be able to help them overcome some of that difficulty by providing some extra practice. There are a ton of different ways that you can do this, but it's really important to first and foremost understand the weak spots that your child has. It might be math or reading. It just could be a variety of things. And whatever those weak spots are, hone in on them and use different things to help them practice. So I'm talking workbooks, practice tests. Their teachers can be a really good resource in this area as well. I'm just knowing, talking to them and seeing where do they think their weak spot is and how do they think that they can help even in the classroom. And then there's tutors and tons of other things. Talk with the teacher. Discuss any concerns with a teacher or administrator, especially if you believe that your child has difficulty with standardized tests. Talking is really important even after the test. It's just a good way for you and your child's teacher to stay connected, and y'all can talk about the test results and how moving forward we could all do things differently. It's just good to have that line of communication open. And if there are needs for retesting, then that line of communication is already open from talking before the test. So that is just a really good tip to have. On test day, make sure your child gets a good night's rest and eats a healthy breakfast. These are so important. It does not have to be tricky. You do not have to be slaving over the stove with pots and pans everywhere, dirty dishes for days. It can be as simple as even running through McDonald's, grabbing a hash brown and some hot stacks, and just making it a really special moment. It's really important that on test day, you as a parent are in control and you are calm and collected. And that just gives your child really good energy to get throughout the day. And bonus, if you can squeeze in some fruits or nutritious things into that breakfast time, doing this actually helps your child's brain work at a fuller capacity. And make sure that they're also in bed at an early time. My mom would make me practice going to bed early the whole week before standardized testing. So I would go to bed at, okay, 10, and now 9, now 8, and just make sure that you're getting a whole 8 hours at least of rest the night before. Make sure that your child is prepared. Check with your child's teacher to see if you need to provide your child with any testing materials. Teachers are really great at doing this, and we applaud them for that. There may be some situations where you might need to pack a little snack bag, some certain colored pens and pencils. Things can get really specific, or maybe you can't have mechanical pencils, and that's like what your child has. I know that being older, taking the ACT requires such a specific calculator, and they would check that walking into the test. And if you didn't have it, then it was a big deal. So just make sure that your child has everything that they need. And like we already said, remain positive. Staying calm will help your child stay calm. If they get test anxiety, help them practice some relaxation techniques that they can try once they're done taking the test, in the middle of it, or right before. Relaxation techniques like breathing are really important just on a day-to-day basis as well. If somebody's really testing your patience, it's good to just take a moment and center yourself. There are really good breathing techniques. We definitely encourage you to look into them. Even something as spending 1 minute breathing in and breathing out slowly as you're centering yourself has been known to really reduce levels of anxiety. After the test, what about the results? After the test, the score should include information that helps you interpret the results. Talk with your child's teacher if you have any questions about the test results. You may also suggest that the school offer a testing information session to parents. Review with your child. Help your child review any parts of the test that they may not have understood. This is something you can also do alongside the teacher, like we talked about earlier. And now here are just some closing tips for helping your child on a daily basis. In addition to these strategies, there are a number of ways that you can maximize your child's learning capabilities throughout the school year, which can lead to confident test taking. Some of these strategies include assisting your child with homework and making sure that they complete that homework, helping them develop good study habits, thinking skills, and a positive attitude towards education from an early age. That positive attitude is key. Ensuring that your child has good attendance, staying in communication with your child's teacher, encouraging your child to read as much as possible. This increases their vocabulary and improves their reading skills. It could be as simple as magazines, newspapers, comic books, just anything. And it would be a really great thing if you as the parent set up a reward system. I know my mom, if I read a small book, she gave me 50 cents. If I read a large book, she gave me $1. And that was very motivating. Or sometimes she would do candy instead, and I would take my pick out of a ton of candy. And every time I finished a book, I would get rewarded. And that was honestly very motivating. And your children will think so too. Look for educational games and programs that engage your child. We in YA have tons of stuff going on all the time. So if you are interested, please reach out to us and we can definitely connect you and your child to some really great things that we have going on. And lastly, helping your child learn how to follow directions carefully. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this. I hope that it was really helpful and does its part in reducing some anxiety for hopefully you and definitely your child as well. Thank you guys.